Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Yevamot, page 51, which continues to discuss the opinion of Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel says that when it comes to mimer, which when it comes to regular marriage, a person will give a woman something of monetary value, which is called kiddushin. This also is a way of being able to connect yourself to the Yevamot. A Yevamot, as we've been mentioning, is a situation where a woman becomes a widow, her husband dies, and they're childless, so she is supposed to either do Yibum with his brother, or they have them released through chalitza. Now, this brother, instead of doing the typical Yibum, he does something called mimer, which again is a way of also bringing her close. According to Rabbi Gamliel, if you have two brothers, Reuven and Shimon, Reuven first does mimer, and then Shimon does the exact same action. That second action of mimer means nothing, because the first brother had already accomplished the action of mimer. So on this, the Talmud tells us what should be done in this situation. If Reuven did mimer to one woman, and then Shimon did mimer to the other, and Shimon is really, again, his actions mean nothing, and therefore he actually is allowed to even marry her relatives because he didn't do any action because his first brother already did the mimer. So on this, the Talmud says that what the first brother must do is actually two things. He has to give a get, a divorce document, in order to be able to remove the mimer. A divorce document is what's given to release a woman in a normal marriage, just like kiddushin, giving her money is a way to connect her. So it's the same thing. Since you did mimer, so you need to give this divorce document a get to release her. But still, you need to do chalitza because she is a Yevamot. So those are the two actions that are required. On this, the Talmud asks the question. It doesn't really seem logical why we're going to require this man to have to release her by giving her a get and chalitza. All he's done is mimer. He's brought her in. And even though the second brother did mimer, as we said, it's like nothing was done. And even if he would have done mimer himself to a second Yevamot, that second mimer means nothing. So it's like all he did was mimer to one woman, and therefore for that reason, we should allow him to just continue the process of Yibum. Let them get married. Why are we going to say that we're not going to allow him to go ahead and marry her? Why does he have to give her a get and chalitza? So in this, the Talmud tells us that the problem is not if he would do exactly as we just said. But what ends up happening is if we allow Yibum in this case, and you can imagine the element of confusion already, if he does Yibum with one of these women, he may end up doing Yibum also with the second one. So what's the problem? In the event, again, that Levi, who died, actually had two wives. So we know when it comes to Yibum, you only will marry one of them. You could do Yibum with one of the two wives, and that will release the other one. We do not do Yibum with both wives. That's considered to be shtei batim, like two houses with one house. You're not allowed to do that. The only time you can actually do Yibum with two different women is if they come from two different brothers. If two brothers died and each one of them had wives and they both died childless, yes, you could do Yibum with both of them. However, since they came from the same man, so you can only do Yibum with one. And because of all this confusion that was already created, that you did mimer with one, and let's say you did mimer with the second one, even though the second mimer means nothing, but we're concerned you may end up doing Yibum with both, and that is not allowed.